Hello, it's me, Lauren Riley. I just wanted to remake my Finding Your Female Voice video series that I did beforehand. I'll teach you the basics of how to develop or find your female voice. It takes a lot of practice to actually find it, but once you do, you'll be happy you did. The first thing you have to do is breathing. So what you can start doing is breathing through your diaphragm by breathing out with starting breathing through your mouth, and then when you breathe out, either go shh or sss. As far as the breathing is concerned, what you're gonna want to do is kind of tighten up the base of your throat, so that kind of tightens. The problem with when you're first starting out is you'll tighten up your throat so much that when you begin talking, the sound won't be quite right. But what I learned to do is either breathe through my mouth and nose at the same time. However, this does not need to be done. This is not necessarily the case, but I'll show you. You see here that my neck, you can see how that kind of tightened up. That's kind of what you want. But only at first it'll be super exaggerated, but you'll get more comfortable with it over time. You see? And then eventually you'll be able to just breathe in deep, and you won't even have to really worry about that. You can also kind of breathe through your nose. Kind of not super hard, but kind of like how you have a cold and you're trying to breathe through your nose, but you can't because you have a stuffy nose, so you're all like... And then eventually your throat will tighten up down here. Anyway, the next step is to kind of, is yawning to make sounds from like a higher to lower pitch and then back up high again, just to give it some exercise before you begin practicing to speak. Like that. So that's very good, a big component, because you need to really stretch out, or make sure you have a good vocal range. Also start practicing notes like going from A to B, from B to C with the ha sound. You can also try sounds like a ooh or he. But basically what you're going to also need to do is get yourself a voice tuner or a spectrogram, and then shoot for the range between 180 hertz to about 225. Basically you want to stay between, I'd say, 190 to about 230, somewhere within that range. Also, talking in falsetto could kind of, help you boost up a little bit more, even though talking in falsetto is kind of the Mickey Mouse voice. But still, you want to do that somewhat. When you first start this whole female voice practice, your throat will get tired. Don't overdo it. It will hurt to do these kind of things because the muscles in your throat are not used to working in this fashion. So you need to practice for about an hour, stop. Practice for another hour, stop. Then do it again until you can, hold it for enough time. The other thing that I've done is known as the Ruthless Shaker method. Is lie on your back on like a flat surface or bed, whatever, lie on your back somewhere with your legs all spread out, just, flat on your back, and lift your head like you're going to do a sit-up. Only don't raise your shoulders, only raise your head to look at your feet, and hold up and then push down on your and then look downward, so that you're looking at your feet, and it'll strengthen the muscles down here and here. The stronger that these muscles are, the genioid muscles, the better your voice is going to be, because it'll be in shape, it'll be fine-tuned, and therefore it'll help you speak words more clearly. And the last tip I have is inflection. I mean, you can't really speak all monotone. I guess I kinda do still. But I mean, you can't be all, I went to the grocery store today. It was very boring. I bought some grapes, apples, pears, and steak. Well, everybody, goodbye. I mean, don't overdo it with the inflection. Don't sound, all happy slappy when you're kinda not feeling so great. Then again, don't sound boring when you're trying to be happy. I wouldn't say there's no hard fast rule for inflection. Some people will say, that men end their sentences lower or with a low note, and women end their sentences with a high note, but you don't want to be a valley girl. You don't want everything to sound like it's a question. So, I mean, just, follow the speech patterns or try to in movies, in speaking in real life. But I mean, just try to speak naturally is all I can say. I mean, even trying to mimic movies or, something like that can lead you astray as well. Some vowels will be harder to keep up in the vocal female range than other things. What you can also do is that if you want to, do it one at a time, do like pitch first and then resonance by tightening up your throat. You can also do that as well. Just be forewarned that if you do pitch only first, you will sound like a bit of a gay guy because you'll still have the bass in your voice while speaking at in the female spectrum or range, and that's where the resonance comes in. But if one at a time helps, then that's all you can do. Don't try to overdo it too much at one time. If you want to practice resonance first, then do that. If you want to do pitch first and just get up into the vocal range, do that part. I mean, if you can do both at the same time and not worry about it, then all the better for you. But what I'm saying is, if you gotta do it one at a time, then so be it. It took me about 2 years just to get a passable voice. But then again, I'm a slow learner anyway. I believe there's like voice tuners or spectrograms on your phone as well. I can't recommend a good program. The program that I used was called Graham. And there are settings you have to use for that. I forget the exact settings off the top of my head, but they're out there. Anyway, I just thought I would make a quick video on, or not really a quick one, but a video, or an updated video on how to find your female voice. I'll go ahead and show you what my voice sort of used to sound like, because after you've been using it for a number of years, almost full-time, your old voice kind of tends to, you still kind of speak the same, or sound the same in your male voice, but it's with the not as much of a bass to it. And so I would say, I would be at work, at my old job, and, I would be like, good morning, crap, I can't even do it now, hold on. Good morning. Thank you for calling XX Electric Company. May I have your account number or address, please? You can still tell it's kind of old, but then again, I had difficulty going down to that. For one thing, when you get tired, it's a bit, your voice isn't projected quite as much. And also, I can't really project my male voice as much, because once I start projecting it, I start going up the female range. That's one thing you'll notice once you've been doing the female voice for quite some time. Anyway, I just thought I would make an updated video. I hope this helps everyone in some fashion. Thank you all for watching. If you do subscribe to my channel, make sure to click the bell so that way you can keep updated with the videos that I come out with. Keep pushing forward and stay epic.